Hi, I'm Chef Paul. We're back in the kitchen again, and we're going to show you some other fun things to do as prep items for through the week, or for just better quality food that you want to eat. I like yogurt again, but when I went away from dairy, I had to try to come up with my own sort of yogurt, and my coach helped me and worked with me to make coconut yogurt. And it sounds crazy, but it's really great. And when you make it, it is so much more healthier than what's available on the shelf at the stores. There's only one or two brands out there that I think are really good on the shelf, on the store shelf. So I don't mind making this for myself every week. These are baby Thai coconuts, and they're young. Normally they would have a big husk around them, and they cut that off. The only tool that I have found that I really need for this, and I bought it on Amazon, and it's a mallet and a little prying tool. If you don't have one of these, you can use a knife, but you really need two people when you're doing it with a knife, okay? So, let's just take the plastic off the top of the coconut. I can buy these at most stores. I do like to find some of the little Asian markets, or some of the other vegetable markets around Detroit that carry a lot of different vegetables, like Randazzo's. And again, you can take a little extra of the top off, and again, that's just throwaway. You're not going to use that. Now, all you do on this is you place the tool like so, and you give it a couple of hits. And you can see a little bit of the liquid come up. And now, if you pop it just like that, the coconut, that's the coconut that we're looking for, the beautiful young coconut meat. And an added bonus to this is all the coconut water that we're going to use through the week. I drink it in smoothies. There, look at all that beautiful coconut water. That's fantastic. I just love it. And it smells so coconut. It's just phenomenal. And if you look inside, here, let's just cut off a little bit of the outer coating here so that you can get a better look in there. If you look inside the coconut, you can see all that beautiful white meat. And the idea now is that you take a bowl, and with a scraper or a spoon, there's also a little plastic tool that you can get, but just a dessert spoon works well. And all we're going to do is take all that beautiful coconut meat off the coconut, or out of the coconut, just like so. Don't worry if you get a little bit of brown in there, that's just part of the shell. It's quite edible and it's fine. And again, if you take your knife, or you take a metal spoon, you'll be able to pull out all this beautiful coconut meat, and it'll just come straight out just like that in big chunks. Okay, so an average coconut yields about 1/3 of a pound of flesh and meat, and I usually do somewhere between 14 and 16 ounces of flesh per batch of coconut yogurt. And what I will do is I'll put this in my blender with a little bit of the coconut water, and I will just blend it up until it's smooth and a puree consistency. The one thing I do add to it to help with probiotics for my gut health is I add a probiotic. This is a 102 billion cells of probiotic, and I put one of these capsules in with the meat when I'm blending it, or actually when I'm mixing it in the bowl, and it adds the probiotics to my yogurt. I will let it sit out on my counter for about 8 hours, and you'll start to see some little bubbles forming. And the bubbles on the top here, for example, you can see the big bubble pockets here. And when you start to see the bubbles or around the edge, when you look at it, you know that it's fermenting and you're getting the yogurt. Don't leave it out too long. If your kitchen's hot, put it back in the refrigerator and let it bubble for a couple of days. And then when it's done, this yogurt is just so scrumptious on my cereal. Really, really good. And it's one of those things that once you've made it, you don't go back to the store-bought jar product, because I don't add any sugars to this. Part of the diet that I'm also looking at is SOS. No salt, no oil, and no sugar. And this, by not adding any sugars to it, just sets that off beautifully. I save myself easily 17 to 20 grams of sugar that are added on some of the flavored yogurts that you buy in the store. Okay, so from young Thai coconuts, adding probiotic, making a yogurt, we can drink the water through the week, and it's really, really healthy and great, and it's so hydrating, especially during the summer. I love it in a smoothie. The last thing I want to show you really quick is, and it's because we're going to use this in one of the salads that we're going to make a little later. My coach also encouraged me to grow my own sprouts. And by doing sprouts, they're so easy to do, so quick and easy, it gives me a real nutritious or nutrient-dense blast in my salads, as well as just a lot of great flavor and texture as well. Now I have 2 containers. This is a stainless steel container where I do larger pieces, and this is my salad ones that I do. And all it is a plastic container with a double insert, just like that. And you put the seeds in the bottom, you soak them for about 6 to 8 hours, and then after, this is about 4 days, you get the beautiful sprouts that grow. And these are radish sprouts. And if you could smell the radish in them. And they're great on a tossed salad or with one of the other salads we're going to make later today. The other ones that I like to make, this is fenugreek. And fenugreek is a seed, and it almost looks like a bean sprout. And they do really, really well in the dark, but you can put them out into the light and the chlorophyll will add a little green tinge to it. These are great. We're going to use these in another dish that we're making a little later. And last but not least, these are peas. And these are pea sprouts. And it's such a great form of protein that you can throw in on a dish or on a plate. And we're going to do that with one of our dishes a little later. Okay, so simple. It's just adding water to the seed and having a little piece of equipment that's not very expensive. And again, you don't even have to do this sort of equipment. You can do it in a glass jar. Google it. I know that once you give it a try and you taste the way the product tastes, you'll save yourself so much money and also have such a great nutrient-dense additive to all your salads.